Silver has broken the stock market in 2025. Last year, the stock market did great. It grew by 16%, by 6%. Gold prices boomed by 60%, while silver prices rallied by about 145%. But now in 2026, things are starting to change. China controls about 70% of the world's silver supply. And on January 1st, 2026, China officially restricted the export of silver to the United States. And this is why the question now on every investor's mind is, are we going to see silver prices boom in 2026 again? Or are silver prices going to come back down to earth? And that's what I want to break down in this video. That way you don't get caught up in all the hype, that we have a more educated knowledge of what might be coming in 2026 when it comes to silver and the economy. And this is also why, to start the new year off right, I'm hosting a live and free investor workshop on January 13th, 2026, because our economy today is changing faster than ever with AI, with tariffs, with new Trump policies. These things are changing not just how the economy works, but how investing works. And if you want to see how these changes are going to impact how money is flowing and how it can create better investment opportunities for you, I'm hosting this live and free workshop on January 13th, where I'm going to be showing how these changes create investment opportunities. It's free, it's live, and I'm doing it twice on January 13th, once in the morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then again in the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you'd like to join, you do have to register. I have the link for you down in the description below. But I do have a small request. If you are interested in joining, please register soon, because our software has a limited number of people that can actually join us live. And every time I've done an investor workshop like this in the past, we've either hit capacity and had to turn people away, or we became very close to hitting capacity. So to avoid that, please make sure you register soon. That way you can secure your spot. In 2025, three things came together for silver prices to boom. That is, demand, supply, and policy all created the perfect storm for silver. On the demand side, we're seeing a shift in our economy to require more silver. Artificial intelligence, data centers, these things require more silver. Building an electric vehicle requires 70% more silver than a regular car, and solar panels, solar power requires more silver. So we know that our economy is shifting in a direction that's going to need more silver, while at the same time we're seeing a shortage of supply, partially due to the fact that China is now restricting the exports of silver to the United States. And the reason why they're doing that is in response to tariffs. The Trump administration started putting tariffs on China, and in response, China said, okay, no silver for you. And this is creating a supply shortage in the United States, while we need more demand for that same silver. In the words of Elon Musk, this is not good. Silver is needed in many industrial processes. And in response to this growth in demand, in response to this decreasing of supply due to the constraints by China, we have seen a changing of policies in the United States. It started with President Trump in 2025 adding silver to the list of critical minerals here in the United States in the end of 2025. What that means in practicality is that now when you are a critical mineral like silver, that means that it is a national security issue if we cannot get enough silver. And the reason why is because, kind of like how I talked about with copper earlier, if we, the United States, don't have access to silver, our economy stops. We can't produce EVs. We can't produce solar panels. We can't produce this AI and data centers that we need. We can't produce a lot of different stuff, and that's going to hurt our economy. And so now, if we can't get access to that silver, that's bad for us, it's bad for our security, it's bad for our economy. And now, because it's part of this critical minerals list, the Trump administration can now take more action legally to make it easier to produce and mine more silver outside of China. Now, if you've been keeping up with the economy at all over the last 12 months, you've been hearing a lot about China and concerns about China, and the reason why is because we are in an economic war to see who is going to be the leading economic superpower, not just in 2026, but in 2036 and beyond, because our economy is larger, but China's economy is growing faster. Take a look. At the time of me recording this video, the United States economy is measured through a number called GDP, which takes a look at all spending that happens in the economy. And right now, the United States economy is about $30.5 trillion large. You can compare that to China, whose economy is about $19.3 trillion large. Now, you might say, well, China's economy is so much smaller, but you also have to take a look at the growth rate. The United States economy is growing by around 3.8% a year, while the Chinese economy is growing by around 4.8% a year. And this is why a lot of economists are saying, if this continues happening, the Chinese economy could outpace the United States economy in the coming decade or decades. And that's where now the United States is trying to be less dependent on China. if we continue to depend on China, we have a couple of concerns. Number one, that will continue to contribute to the Chinese economic growth. And number two, that makes us reliant on China, because if they were to ever stop selling us silver or other minerals and metals that we need, that would hurt our economy. And now, in response to tariffs, China has stopped and restricted the export of silver and other metals. And that has made it more difficult for the United States economy because, well, we relied on these metals. And this is where the Trump administration has been working to distance ourselves from China for two reasons. Not just so we can become more independent here in the United States, but also number two, to weaken the Chinese economy and to slow down their growth. Now, there is another angle to what's going on with silver that I haven't talked about yet, and it's the dollar. In 2025, the United States dollar saw its worst year in about a decade. And when people are concerned about the dollar losing value, they often want to go out and buy metals, something like gold specifically, as a way to protect their value. Now, the difference between gold and silver is that silver is used in a lot of economic applications. We use silver in many different parts of the economy, like we've already talked about in this video. Gold, on the other hand, not so much. Are there applications? Yes, but not as many as silver. So when people are concerned about the value of the dollar, they buy gold. And gold prices generally don't go up because it becomes more valuable and businesses need it more. Gold prices go up because the value of the dollar goes down or people are concerned about the dollar. So we saw gold prices boom in 2025 because there was a lot of concerns about the dollar. Versus silver, it's a hybrid. Yes, people were concerned about the dollar, so maybe people bought silver because of that, but people also bought silver because we saw shifts with trade and tariffs, like we talked about. We know that businesses need more silver for AI. They need it more for data centers. They need it more for EVs. We know that. We also know that all these changes created more policy changes in the United States government to produce and store more silver here in the United States. So yes, some people buy silver because they're concerned about the value of the dollar, but really, silver is different than gold because silver has other economic applications that go beyond just concerns about the dollar losing value. Now, before we get into the investment side, you should also understand that higher silver prices do have an impact on people because, well, if you need silver to produce products and companies have to buy that silver at a higher price, that generally means that the price of the product ultimately will have to go up as well because companies have to pay more money to produce the product. Because companies really have two choices. If they have to pay more money to produce a car, they can either absorb that cost and make a smaller profit, or they can pass that cost on to you, the consumer, which then comes to you as inflation. And we know that we need silver to produce EVs. We know that we need solar to produce solar panels. We know that we need silver for AI and data centers. So if silver prices continue to stay high and go high, those things have a higher cost to produce, and businesses can either absorb that cost, have smaller profits, or they can pass it down to the consumer. Now that we understand what's going on, now that you understand the implications, let's talk about how this can, again, create potential investment opportunities for you. Again, I'll be going deeper into this on my live investor workshop on January 13th. I have that link for you down in the description, but I should also remind you that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will lose money at some point, so make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. The things that I'm just going to show you are examples, they're hypotheticals. I want you to start thinking like an investor, that way you can come up with the right portfolio for you. If you believe the silver prices are going to continue to boom, you can get exposure by buying silver. You can buy silver ETFs, or you can invest in silver miners. Now, if you want to go out and buy physical silver, you can go out and do that in person. But if you wanted to buy silver through the stock market, there are ETFs that give you exposure to it. For example, SLV, SLVR, these are two different ETFs that can give you exposure to paper silver. So you don't actually own the physical silver yourself, you get exposure to silver by investing in an ETF that's giving you exposure to that silver. You can also invest in silver miners, things like SIL, SLVP. SIL is an ETF that's going to give you exposure to the Global X Silver Miners ETF, and then SLVP is an ETF created by iShares that's giving you exposure to global silver miners. If, on the other hand, you think that silver prices are going to come back down to earth in 2026, then instead of buying this, you might want to watch this. And if silver prices crash, well, that could create a buying opportunity for you then. Then option number two is looking into United States manufacturing. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because we know that China has been restricting the exports of certain materials like silver and other rare earth materials, minerals here in the United States. And the reason why that matters is because we need these minerals, we need these metals, and so we have to boost up our manufacturing and our supply chain in order to make that happen. But it's not just these metals. We know that the Trump administration has been working actively through tariffs and tax incentives to get businesses to do more manufacturing here in the United States. So if you believe that it's going to work to produce more manufacturing here in the United States, there are ETFs that can give you exposure to that shift. For example, XLI is an ETF that gives you exposure to an industrial ETF, and PAVE, P-A-V-E, is an ETF that gives you exposure to industrial development companies here in the United States, which will also go hand in hand with building more of this manufacturing here in the United States. Option number 3 is you can invest in China. Now, the Chinese economy has been hit pretty hard, but interestingly, China is working to now limit the export of certain metals like silver to the United States. That way they can boost their own business and economy as well, because they want to rely less on the United States if the United States wants to rely less on China. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to the Chinese economy, but if you think that Chinese economy is going to grow, you can invest in the Chinese economy through the United States stock market, because there are ETFs that can give you exposure to them. For example, FXI. This is an ETF that's going to give you exposure to the Chinese large cap companies. These are the larger companies, more established companies in China. That means companies like Alibaba and Tencent. Or if you're looking for more broader Chinese exposure, there are ETFs like MCHI. This is an ETF that's going to give you more broad exposure to China. This is a fund that's created by iShares. And then last but not least, if China becomes less of a supplier for silver in the United States, that could mean that now the United States is going to look for alternative supplies of silver away from China. And we know that Mexico is the world's leading producer of silver. And EWW is an ETF that'll give you exposure to the iShares Mexico ETF. Yes, it's not exactly one-to-one correlated, but you can start to see how you're thinking like an investor. We also know that the United States has been investing more money into countries like Australia to produce more rare earths. And you can invest into the Australian economy as well through a fund like EWA. This is an ETF that's also going to give you exposure now to the Australian economy. Again, more broad, but starting to think like an investor based off of the shifts that are happening. So silver prices boomed in 2025. Silver prices not just outpaced the stock market and Bitcoin, but they also way outpaced gold. And the reason why is because we saw the perfect storm for silver in 2025 with high demand, low supply, but also changes in policy. When we talk about demand, we know that the economy is shifting in a way that requires more silver. That includes more AI, more data centers, that includes more EVs, more solar panels. All those things require more silver, while at the same time we saw a shift in supply because we know that the Trump administration put more tariffs on China. In response to these tariffs, China then restricted the exports of silver to the United States. And this reduction of exports of silver to the United States then led to new policy changes in the United States, including changing the designation of silver to a critical metal. And this critical metal allows the United States to make more decisions to create more silver, produce more silver, and store more silver here in the United States. These three things together are part of the reason why silver prices boomed. Now, we also talked about the connection to the United States dollar, where the dollar had its worst year in almost a decade in 2025. And when people are concerned about the value of the dollar, they generally want to move to metals. In the past, it was gold, but also somewhat silver. But the reason why silver is different than gold is because silver has a lot more applications in our economy versus gold has much less application. So people generally buy gold when they're concerned about the dollar, but silver can also benefit when the use of silver goes up as well. From there, we talked about the implications of higher silver prices, because if businesses need silver to produce their products and it costs them more money to produce their product, that either means they're going to have to shrink their profit margins or they're going to have to charge you more money in order to purchase that product. And based off of all that, we talked about different ways that this can create investment opportunities for you. Again, your portfolio is going to be different than mine. Your goals are going to be different than mine. So you need to just start thinking like an investor. That way you can come up with the best portfolio based off of your personal situation. We talked about how if you believe the silver prices are going to go up, you can invest in ETFs to give you exposure to silver or silver mining. If you don't believe the silver is going to go up, you think it's going to go down, well then you can watch these ETFs, and if you see a crash, that could be a buying opportunity. Then we talked about United States manufacturing, that if we have to build more of our own supply chain here while the Trump administration is working to tariff other countries to entice companies to do more manufacturing here, while President Trump is also giving companies tax incentives to manufacture here, that could benefit the manufacturing industry. There are ETFs for that. Then we talked about investing in China. If you believe that you know what, maybe China is going to see better and bigger growth than the United States. There are ETFs that give you exposure to that as well. And then finally, we talked about other countries which are large suppliers and producers of silver, or countries that are getting investment from the United States to build their rare earth production. We talked about Mexico, we talked about Australia specifically. Again, I have a live investor workshop on January 13th. That link is for you down in the description. And if you got value out of this video, the best thank you is a referral. So if you could, please share this video with a friend, family member, colleague, or fellow investor. That way we can continue to spread this type of financial education. Thank you. On December 1st, 2025, the Federal Reserve Bank flipped their economic policy by ending QT. What that means in plain English is the Fed went from trying to remove extra money from our economy to now printing more money. How do I know? Because on December 2nd, one day after the Fed ended QT, the Fed printed 13.5